Welcome to the Borderline Man. This is a second record attempt because my phone ran out of storage. Well, memory, that is an interesting topic. I've always contemplated. There are reasons why my memory in recent years sucked, why my ability to retain memories sucked. I noticed it well through the last 15 years that when it comes to stuffing of information, I struggle hard. I know a lot of things and I am very knowledgeable, but if it's not connected to a system of thoughts, an idea, theory or something like that, academical shit, I struggle remembering it. The facts there, the small details. I'm a principle kind of guy. I can remember a theory, scientific theory for 20 years without ever having to use it, but can I remember the actual numbers and values and data? Nope. With that in mind, I've always kind of considered my memory to be crap. But in recent years, I've noticed that it deteriorated. I thought it was just firstly, I'm getting older. Memories do become more hard to retain when you are older. You lose some cognitive abilities, but hey, I was only like in my 40s. Shouldn't be that bad, right? Well, a couple of years ago, I noticed for the first time that I struggled a lot with remembering something as simple as a movie. I've experienced it quite a few times in recent years that I've started up a movie, watched it for half an hour, and then only realizing, wait a minute, I've already seen this movie. And we're talking about movies that are around 5 to 10 years old. A movie I watched for 6 years ago and I can't remember it today. That's not okay. That's not normal. That's worrying, actually. So I've also noticed that I started to struggle remembering faces. I've always been bad with names, but now we're talking about faces as well. And faces is something I, in the past, considered myself to be very good at. But no, not today. I remember with my ex, was walking just down the street, her and me, and we encountered this person on the street, and she was all friendly and hello, and there were hugs and stuff like that, and I hugged her, and I had absolutely no idea who it was, so I presented myself like the gentleman I am, and she looked at me like, what? What the fuck? And yeah, she was the same woman we visited for about 3 times. My girlfriend and I, she and her family were close friends with my ex's family, so they usually spent this couple of days together near Christmas, and I've been to these Christmas parties at least 3 times. She's the host and I can't remember her. Oh my god, you can understand how embarrassing that was. Oh well, so I just adopted the role of having bad face memory. Always knowing though that, wait a minute, that's not really the case. There was once a time where you could remember a face of a classmate or something at uni, like 10 years later, walking down the street, and you kind of only talked to that person once, or only seen it in class even. So, yeah, something is definitely off there. And then I read this article. This article, not a scientific article, that's important to note, but an article that stated that there's a strong connection between borderline and memory problems. And this kind of made sense to me instantly, because the things I struggle to remember seems to be things that happened to me during really bad spots in my life. Like these movies, for example. Most of them were around from the time of 2017. And that was a really, really bad year in my life. And it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. And the process, described very vaguely, mind you, in this article, is that the trauma of these strong emotions, when you're having a really bad borderline, I don't know what to call them really, you know what I mean, a really emotional period in or phase or something like that, when you have borderline, they seem to basically flush your brain of memories. The mind works in strange ways, for sure. Seems like it, I mean, it could be a protective thing. That this is a bad time. Let's not store this shit in the mind. Could be like that. Or just an inability, a consequence of the bad things. If I do find a paper about this, I'm going to, of course, post it here, or at least an article about it, because this is interesting for me. I thought that it could have, before I was diagnosed, I thought I had some form of depression, and I read somewhere that depression can really screw up your mind and basically scar the brain in some ways if it's really bad. Could be that borderline acts in a similar way. Hopefully not scarring. I can take a wounds heal. Well, sometimes they become scars, but you know what I mean. It would be preferable in every way to have something that can heal and become better. And I'm going back to uni, not uni, to I might go back to uni and take some courses in the future, but I'm presently doing something easier. It is on a more, I can't really remember what's the English word for this. It's a professional school for adults, sub-uni level, really. And yeah, will I struggle with the stuffing of information there? I'm feeling a lot better now, so there could be a connection. I hope so. I really do. It's not the best scientific study in the world to perform this on yourself, but I will report any progress there. At least my subjective point of view on it. That as a comparison to how it was back in 2017 when I was at university and really just screwed up my attempt to grab a fresh and new bachelor degree there. I couldn't handle the stress at all of uni, and the stuffing of information, oh my God, overwhelming. But I felt really bad back then. There is a possibility that I can handle that aspect better now. At least I'm going to try. I'm panting. It is hot, warm day, and usually warm here in Sweden. We don't usually get above 30 centigrade Celsius. It's not in September, at least. We can get during June, July and August, but 31 degrees today in the shade, that's a record, I believe, here for September, if it checks out with the measurements they did. And yeah, I'm panting away. All right, this is your middle-aged man with borderline personality disorder signing off.